Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to another movie review. It's been a little while since I've actually done one of these. I think the last one I did was Bright. I think that could be correct. I'm not sure. I think it was Bright, but it might have been something after. And now I'm here to talk about my first movie for 2018, and that is Liam Neeson's The Commuter, directed by the same guy that directed the last like 25 Liam Neeson movies. I don't even know. No, he directed Nonstop, it says on the poster. The Shallows, of course. But he also directed Run All Night, which was another Liam Neeson movie. He did Unknown. Did he do Unknown? Yeah, he did Orphan. This guy loves Liam Neeson, but he also loves the big twist. This guy, I have come to realize this. Except a couple movies, like this one doesn't really have a huge twist. Well, it does, but it's not a huge twist. And maybe The Shallows. Every one of his other movies are like reliant on the twist. Like, yeah, here's the twist. Bam! Big surprise, right? And it's always dumb. It's always a dumb twist. So I was expecting this movie to have that, but you know, I guess luckily it didn't really. It had a twist, but it wasn't like a huge twist. It did come out of nowhere, and it did treat it like it was a twist, but it wasn't like, whoa, it was more just another reveal, you know, if that makes any sense. It didn't feel like it was just reliant too much on the twist. It was still relying more on how is Liam Neeson going to get himself out of this situation, which I appreciated. It actually did remind me a lot of Nonstop, except Nonstop at the end really wanted to revel in that twist. Like, oh, you didn't see it coming. You didn't think it would be this guy, huh? Oh, you didn't. You didn't at all. Like, they were really playing that up. You didn't think it was going to be this guy. So much so, guess what? It was another guy, too. There was two guys that were taking over the plane. Oh, you didn't know, right? Whatever. But especially since you give me almost no hints whatsoever, of course I wouldn't guess that. You could just say it's some random asshole. It was the janitor. The janitor of the plane. You know what I mean. It could have been just any random asshole. But that movie I actually really enjoyed until that twist. And then after that I was just like, all right, whatever. The plane, of course, is going to go down. You know exactly where it's going to go after the twist. So it's just like, all right, now it's just going through the motions. Before it was an interesting mystery. Now it's just a generic Liam Neeson action movie on a plane this time. And this is pretty much like that, except it didn't feel too reliant on the twist. The mystery is pretty decent. The little situations that Liam Neeson's character, who is, I think he worked for a bank. In the beginning of the movie, he gets fired like immediately. And he's not having a very good day. He's heading back home on a train he's been going on for the last like 10 years. And then a woman shows up, played by Vera Farmiga, that says, "Hey, let's play like a little game, okay?" She has a little conversation with him in the beginning, and she seems friendly. So she was like, "You know what? Let's play a little game. I'm a psychologist or some shit. I don't even remember what she said, but let's play a game, okay? Let's say hypothetically, I would give you $25,000 and then $75,000 more dollars after you complete this said game." And all you have to do is pick out one person on this train that does not belong. This person has a bag, and that's all the hints you get. Go. And Liam Neeson's like, okay. And he goes into the bathroom. He finds the money. He finds the first $25,000. He's like, oh shit, this is real. So he's like, okay, I'll do this because I just lost my job. My kid wants to go to college. I have no money. And then after that, bad stuff happens. People who die. He soon finds out why this person wants to identify this one person on the train, and it goes on from there. And the movie does have its fair share of action, but the movie addresses how old Liam Neeson is, which I appreciated, because Liam Neeson's like 65 years old at this point. Like, he can't be doing this. Like, okay, like Run All Night made sense because he was just shooting people. There was no, I mean, there was a couple action scenes, but for the most part, it was mostly him just shooting dudes, and it worked for the most part. Taken 3 didn't work because it was a horrible fucking movie, and you couldn't tell what the hell was going on because the director is a no talent hack. Same thing for Taken 2 because it's the same director. But Taken 1 we believe because that was like 10 years ago at this point, so he was a little younger. But point is that he's too old at this point. So the movie actually uses that to its advantage, because there's times where he gets into fights and he gets his ass beat. Like, he's just being suspicious, and everybody's thinking, oh, is this guy gonna like bomb the train or something like that? There's a lot of like people just like looking at him like wandering around trying to figure out who this one person is that doesn't belong on the train, and they start being really skeptical about this guy. Like, who's this guy? I mean, he's been on the train before, I've seen him before, but now he's just being weird. And I like that, even though it's very similar to Nonstop. It's extremely similar. This movie is very similar. I just want to say, if you saw Nonstop at least like 2 times and you see this movie, you'll be like, wait, hold on, did I already see this movie except it was on a plane? And Liam Neeson, I guess maybe was a little bit more badass in Nonstop. Here he's more of a regular guy. That he used to be a cop, but you know, he's still an older, he's a guy. You know, he might know how to fight, but he's not a badass. As you will see in the first fight scene where he gets his ass beat, which I appreciate. Again, I really like that. But so you go into this movie expecting a Liam Neeson action film, especially with that one trailer that shows him like jumping off the exploding train, which, by the way, that's a huge spoiler, okay? But it was in the trailer, so I'm just going to tell you anyway. I mean, if they're going to spoil their own fucking movie, then I'm just going to tell you. It's a pretty big spoiler because you don't see that coming yet, and I don't know. I feel like that's a spoiler. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. You know? Maybe you come to expect like, oh, the train's definitely gonna explode. But nothing in the first like hour of the movie makes you think like that's where it's going. You know what I mean? It looks like it's just gonna be a regular mystery movie, especially with, you know, Liam Neeson getting his ass beat over and over again. You don't think it's gonna be like the movie's gonna end with Liam Neeson, 65 years old, jumping out of a train with terrible CGI. You don't expect that, but it happens. And to be fair, the trailer made it look like it was a much longer scene, him jumping out of the train, than it was in the movie. The movie was like literally half a second. It was like him jumping out of the train and jumping onto another part of the train. That was it. But yeah, I would have appreciated it more if it was more about the mystery towards the end of the movie. But towards the end of the movie, it was definitely more of an action film. Like there was a lot of like supposed tension, like, oh no, this train's gonna like hit something. It turns into Unstoppable for like about 10 minutes, where like the train's not stopping, we need to stop it. Oh, the who's the guy that runs the train, the guy, the I don't know train stuff, but the guy, he's dead. we gotta stop this train. And it becomes a lot of just like trying to figure out how to stop the train at one point. And it becomes very non-stop-ish at times. And there's, of course, a lot of goofy moments. Like, there's a part where Liam Neeson has to crawl under the train while it's moving. And I won't spoil why, but he has to crawl under it to get to the other side of the train so he can get back inside the train. Again, I won't say why he has to do this. But it was really goofy looking, especially since Liam Neeson, again, is 65. So... But they didn't make it look too cartoonish. I will give it that. Like when I saw that trailer, him jumping out of the train, I was like, oh, this is a January movie. Liam Neeson's getting old. This is gonna be embarrassing, and it really wasn't. Again, the mystery was there. It was kind of interesting. The twist wasn't too like in your face, like, whoa, you didn't see that coming, right? It was a character that I suspected immediately because this character or this actor plays villains a lot. So I was like, oh, it's probably that character. And it was big surprise. And yeah, I found it to be entertaining enough. It was. Liam Neeson I thought was really good. The dialogue was passable. It wasn't great. But for the most part, it felt a lot like a B movie. It was definitely a B movie. The only problem I had with that is that there's times where it does slow down and it becomes a little slow, a little too slow. I know it slows down and becomes a little slow, but you know what I mean. In pacing, it becomes a little slow. And even that mystery is kind of like dwindling at times, where it's just like, okay, now he's gonna investigate this. Oh, maybe it's this person. Oh, it's not that person, so we just wasted our time. I get it. It's supposed to be like we're with Liam Neeson and we're supposed to really suspect this person, but when you find out it's not that person, we really did just waste time, just like Liam Neeson's character. And rewatching it, I don't see how this would hold up. Like Nonstop kind of held up because it was a little bit more faster paced, and also the action, when it comes to the action, Liam Neeson's a badass in that movie, so you're like, okay, at least I can watch my boy Liam Neeson beat some ass. Or actually I should say, like my father calls Liam Neeson, my father calls him Liam Neeson. I forgot to mention that. I wanted to say that in the beginning of the video, which was weird. Liam Neeson, what the fuck, what's wrong with you? Yeah, it's a solid enough little B movie. Okay, dialogue is generic, the characters are generic. Liam Neeson's character is, you know, he's a typical guy. You know, he's a good guy. You know, he works for his family. He likes his family a lot, his wife, his kid. You know, he appreciates them. And then when this happens, you're like, oh no, Liam Neeson, I hope he pulls through. He has a good kid. You know. I don't know. It's generic stuff, but it's good enough for a January film. Like when we think January stuff, I think like stuff like Insidious, Last Key, or which I watched, by the way, and Maybe I should review that too, but I don't think anybody gives a shit anymore. But maybe I might make just a fun review to rant. And like Den of Thieves or something like that, which I don't know, could be good, but I doubt it. Yeah, so it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a fun little movie. Again, just like Nonstop, it's very much a B movie. And this movie, I would love to tell you exact beats, like where it copies Nonstop, but it's so obvious. Like, you don't even need to see it. If you saw Nonstop, you'll be like, okay, so this probably happens in this movie, right? And I'll be like, yeah, that exactly happened. There's a thing where they go into a bathroom and they find something that's really like, whoa. There's the ending where every character, even side characters, get some resolution. There's the crash, which is in both Nonstop and this. There's, you know, twists and betrayals and stuff like that. There's that one character that's like, in Nonstop, you had a like a Boston cop or whatever character, and there's a character kind of like that in this one, that's similar, at least. It's just little things that is just like, it's carbon copy of Nonstop, except this time it's on a train. It's like when Snakes on a Plane came out, and then that ripoff Snakes on a Train came out. It's like that, except Snakes on a Train is a secret masterpiece. Go watch it. Have fun. But yeah, I'll give The Commuter, I'll give it a solid like 23 out of 40. It's nothing great. Maybe I should, for my reviews like this, maybe I should switch my review score back to like just a 0 to 10. Or maybe not even have review scores. Okay, you know, what I'll do here is I'll keep my old review score system, you know, the 40 out of 40, 0 to 40. But I'll also have a regular 0 to 10 for people that don't understand the 0 to 40. All right, I'll give it a 23 for my regular score. My 0 to 40, this is a bad idea. I shouldn't even do this, but I'd give it like a 6 out of 10 regular score. So there you go. 6 out of 10. If you want to go see it, go ahead. You'll have a good time for the most part. It's nothing memorable, but it's not bad. You know, you'll remember it while it's going on. You know, you'll remember the last scene that happens. At least it's that decent. You know, besides some of these really horrible movies like The Snowman, which I'm forgetting as I'm watching. You know, so I'll give it that. Go watch this over The Snowman. I'm sure everybody's doing that, especially since Snowman made about half as much as The Commuter did. Overall, too. That's overall. Commuter it just came out, and it still already made double the amount that Snowman did. I don't know why I felt like I had to bring up Snowman, but that's like the one movie I like to pick on. Even though I could pick on Boo 2 and Emoji Movie and Rings, those movies are just dumb bullshit. Like, The Snowman had some prestige to it, you know what I mean? It had a book that was supposed to be really good, it had Michael Fassbender, who's a great actor, had a great director, a guy that did Let the Right One In. I don't know. So that one is like fun to make fun of, because that should have been good. At least good. Not incomprehensible and ridiculous and terrible. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.